Good afternoon, everybody. You are listening to and watching 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station. 1320 AM WARA and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. We have the privilege of having Bob Kelly, the new skipper over at Cardinals Spellman Baseball. But before we get to Bob and the first question, Justin's going to read one of our proud supporters real fast.
This segment of 4 Deep Sports Talk is made possible by the generous support of Diesel Direct. Diesel Direct, the national fuel resource in 46 states, boosts a fleet of over 900 fuel delivery trucks. 4 Deep Sports Talk would like to congratulate Diesel Direct on its 25th year anniversary. Thank you, Diesel Direct, for your unwavering support, helping us provide a platform for high school and youth athletes in southeastern Massachusetts.
All right, so you can dive right in, young man. He's ready. We warmed him up before the show.
All right. What brought you to Cardinal Spellman?
What brought me to Cardinal Spellman? It's kind of a family tradition legacy at Cardinal Spellman. There's right now currently 2 more family members that are left at Cardinal Spellman. That brings a total of 29 family members that have gone through Cardinal Spellman. I graduated there in 1993, where I played football, basketball, and baseball, and I sent all 5 of my kids there, my children there, and everything. So it's kind of a family tradition to be back there.
Very good. First off, I just want to mention Luce is right sitting right in front of me. Catherine Conley, she is playing in the Special Olympics football game. They got 2 games today. They're over at Gillette Stadium, so good luck to Catherine Conley, a.k.a. Casey, as she gets ready to, again, I believe they're already underway. We also have the scores and updates. We've knocked it out the bottom half of the hour, the last break of the hour, as far as the Super Bowl and playoff matchups that we know so far. If you want to call in, 508-222-1320. So we just talked about this. Thank God I should ask you this before. You are the 4th coach in the history of Cardinal Spellman baseball.
Yes.
Now, thinking about that, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I mean, I know you're honored, ex-alum. Now you're almost like fulfilling a dream, if you think about it.
Yes.
You're part of the school that kind of puts you on the map as far as a high school athlete.
Yes.
So do you think about that at all? Do you dwell on that? I mean, you must be honored.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been 4. I'm the 4th in history of it. In a long time, head coach Pete Ambrose, unbelievable guy, great coach, great person. Ray Bresnahan that was up there before, unbelievable guy. So Stephen, who was there the last couple of years, 2-3 years, unbelievable baseball guy, young kid that brought a lot of passion and everything to the game. It's just very honored to follow in their footsteps. It's going to be tough, but up to the task.
So what are your plans?
My plans is...
brand new. You're going to start from ground up and...
Yeah, I'll be starting from ground up. I've been fortunate enough that my son, my youngest, Jason, has played there the last 2-3 years on the varsity team. He just graduated last year. So the juniors, sophomores, and seniors that are there now, I've got to know them just by going to the games and watching them and everything. I've also coached a couple of them in Legion baseball over at East Bridgewater. So my plans are just to keep the tradition going, build on what they did last year. We play in a very difficult league, probably one of the top 5 leagues in the state for baseball. And year in and year out, one of the teams from our league is either in the finals or, the quarterfinals, semifinals in the state tournament and everything. So just keeping up to tradition that Cardinal Spellman has had in baseball, and hopefully we can keep that going.
I have a question for you, Coach. And you see this with some of the younger players. When they swing and miss, and they're completely, they'll say they saw the ball, but from their body English that they're not watching the ball. How do you coach that? How do you coach it so you can tell them, I hope I'm saying this right, where you're like, well, if you watch the ball, you might at least got a piece of it, but I could tell from your English watching you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I used to do that with Tyler. I'd film it, and he'd see it, and, you must have seen that 1,000 times. How do you coach something like that?
you just gotta they have to trust themselves. You know, they trust that they can see the ball and hit it. Baseball is hitting a baseball is probably the hardest thing in sports to do.
Yeah.
You know, hitting a round object with another round object, and your success rate is not that great. So they just got to learn to deal with it and see, you know, just see the ball all the way through and watch it hit the bat. And you just got to learn how to deal with, you know, failure. You know, baseball and softball, those types of games are you know, your success rate again is not high.
Right.
You know, so if you can deal with that, you know, a lot of mental aspect of it. It's not a lot of physical attributes. It's mental. If you can deal with that and be able to, you know, make the adjustment and just watch the ball come through and everything, and just see it and hit it.
I am just double checking and. All right. Nope. Thought that was going to be another sports. I was waiting for Tom Joyce to chime in and have a question for the coach, but he didn't chime in. He'll chime in later. He's probably still having his pajamas on, watching a fantasy game or something.
It's cartoon morning.
Right? Exactly. What do you got, old man?
Is it true you were involved in one of the most dramatic basketball games in Massachusetts high school history?
Yes, that happened when I was playing there. Probably back in 1991, I think I was a junior for the basketball team. And it was just after vacation. We were playing Archbishop Williams. And Spelman's floor had just been redone. And it was snowing and raining out that night that we were playing Arches when we came back. And next thing you know, it was a big crowd because both varsities at that time would play against each other. And the crowd, Spelman's gym is tiny, if you guys don't know. So they're trying to pack everybody in as much as they can. And everyone's walking in, their feet were wet, and they're cutting the corners on the court and everything. And the wax built up, and it got over our shoes and everything. And it was like playing on a skating rink. So I think to this day, that still might be the longest basketball on record, because I think we started it on a Monday or a Tuesday night, and I think we finished it on a Thursday or a Friday night.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
See that? You do good research, old man. See that? That's why you're the sports master. That's why he knows and everyone else guesses.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's funny you talked about the gym. Not to get too, I'm going to lead this into another question. Everything's so close. The seats are so close. And now the gyms, it's a little bit further away.
Yes.
You know, kids have a chance to overrun a ball instead of falling. It is what it is. I mean, it's a nice gym. It's sold, and I don't know, it works.
Yeah.
You know, it works. So have you heard anything about doing, I mean, they have a beautiful football field over at Cardinal Spellman. They also translate into a girls softball field in the corner. Have they thought about doing anything with the baseball field over there?
Just last year, they did a lot of work to it. You know, new sprinkler system in. They leveled out the infield a little bit better and everything. I think this year on tap, I think we're possibly, there's been talk about maybe getting some new infield mix to kind of keep the dust down, because it's always windy up there and everything. But that's just been talked about. I'm not sure. Hopefully we get that.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. There has been talk, you know, originally after they did the football field and stuff like that, you know, talk of a baseball field, phase 2 was possibly going to be in the works for, you know, maybe an all-purpose field in the outfield, you know, turf and stuff like that and everything.
That would be so cool.
But as you know, small school and stuff like that, it takes a lot of time and a lot of funds to build that up.
I don't want to be devil's advocate, but Fian did it.
Yeah.
St.
Yes.
Mary's does it. Stang does it.
Yeah.
So there's probably something else that we don't know financially. Well, the reason why it's probably not going to happen right now.
Yeah, like I said, it's been talked about in the works, you
Right.
know, and hopefully someday that happens, and hopefully I'm there to see that.
Now you also donate your time being the public address announcer for the football game.
Yes.
That's where I first met you, when your wife came out and said, oh, and I'm like, who's this guy talking to me, right? And then I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm at the baseball game. It took me a second, but you have fun with that. You do a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I do have. I have fun with it. You know.
Is this broadcasting for?
Yeah, the PA, over during the football game.
Really?
Yes.
For football?
Yeah.
Nice.
I do have fun. You know, I kind of keep the kids in the game, even the ones on the sidelines.
Kids love it when they hear that.
You know, I try to get the fans going. You know, I play a little bit for all ages there. You know, I got to get, for the parents and the kids in the stands and everything. So,
So it's not your responsibility to get the permit for the city for the baseball. The school takes care of that, right? That's one less headache, or do you have to take care of that? Because usually it's owned by the city, and you got to get a permit. I don't know if it's the same thing in Brockton. I know it wasn't in Taunton. I know they had to get a permit before they could play in the ball field. But
No, that field that we have up at Spelman is owned. That's
Oh,
Spelman's
good.
field, yeah. So we don't have to worry about any permits or
the
anything
silly
like that.
things that pop into my head.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
You know, you just don't know.
I know that Bristol Community College over in Taunton, they have to take out a permit.
Right,
That's,
exactly.
That's the city.
Over at Hopewell Park.
Because I
yeah.
record a lot of the games over there for the college, and I'm like, oh yeah, yay,
Yeah.
really?
That's a beautiful. It's all grass.
Yeah,
When
it
they
is.
first
It's
did it,
nice.
it was beautiful. When Coyle Cassidy was still contending.
Right.
and
Yeah, 'cause
before they folded.
yeah, my
unfortunately.
twins and my oldest played over there.
Over at Coyle?
Over at, no, they played at Spelman, but they played against Coyle Cassidy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a beautiful field.
It is when it's like anything else. When it's well, should you break the bad news to the boys that they got to start grabbing rakes after games? Or?
That's part of it. They'll
Oh, boy.
they'll do it. Hey, you gotta you gotta take pride in what you play on, and to do that, you have
Right.
to take care of it.
Right, one will have the garden hose, the other one will be raking. The
Yeah. Yep.
coach will be pointing. No, right there, right there.
You're right.
Yeah. Then if they're good at it, you could have them go do your yard.
I would like that. I would like that, especially with all my other boys away at school. They don't
Right.
get home too much to help, but when they're home, they do help.
All right, we're about to take our first break. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here in the news station. We have the privilege with Bob Kelly, the new skipper over at Cardinal Spelman High School, the baseball coach. We'll be right back. Did I do that right? No, we're still here. I apologize. We are still here. But why didn't that go? Hold on one second, everybody. We'll stay right here. I don't know what happened there. I apologize. We should have went to the
First break,
commercial. The
right?
first break.
Is
And
the
it didn't
program
go.
did?
It is. I'm looking right at it right now. I hit that. Maybe because I didn't let it go soon enough. I don't know. And you guys can't hear that. I can't hear that. We'll just keep on going.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, boy. I just wish I knew what I did wrong. I'm looking right at the thing. It's ready to play. It says we got another 10 minutes before
Usually
the
we
second
have
break.
KC, on the board over there,
Yeah.
and
It hasn't changed since unless it did. I don't know.
it didn't.
Right? You know what? I'm going to let it go free. It's on auto. All right, we'll keep on going. Good, Jay. What do you got?
All right. What do you plan for baseball that might not have been done before?
Realistic goal is to, obviously you want to play and win a state championship, but that's a long ways away. We can just go and do the best that we can. Like I said, but Spelman's had a lot of tradition, not just in, football, basketball, but also baseball. So there's a lot that has already been done there that I would just like to continue with. But that's the ultimate goal.
So as far as working out and conditioning and all that, when are you going to start that?
I cannot start with the kids until March 18th. That's when all the winter playoffs and championships are done.
Yep.
So I cannot have any contact or anything with the kids like that. Can't work out with them until that starts. But the kids will get together and in the off season, and they'll work out and do hit together and field some ground balls and do some pitching and everything.
Now, can you remind us captain's practice? When does that start for the captains? Before you start?
That starts before I start.
Yep.
They can, I'll be talking to the captains, probably in a couple weeks or so, get them going and, what I expect them to work on and stuff like that. And then they'll all go do that and work on it themselves,
Now, to add to Lucy's question, as far as conditioning goes, do you have a workout regimen for these guys to do in the off season? Because it's a beautiful gym over there. I don't know if you had something in place.
Oh, like a weight
Yeah,
training
like
program?
a weight training program.
I have
sorry.
something in the works. I have a couple family members that are involved in personal training and stuff like that, and a couple other guys that I know that are going to be, I'm reaching out to on a throwing program for them and in weightlifting and stuff like that for them.
Yep.
You know, I would like to see the kids get more of that. You know, because the gym is beautiful over there.
It is.
That you know, that has been built probably maybe around 10 years now or something like that. But if they can get access to that and they can work out in there, it's just only going to make the program better.
Now, do you have, once, of course, just you getting yourself established and letting the coach, let the kids know who you are and stuff, are you looking further down the line to maybe implement a more stronger program where it's not, I don't want to say mandatory, but, you know, they need to go to the gym, they yet need to, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if that's not making, I hope that's making sense.
No, it makes sense. You know, you always want them to work out and everything, but yeah, if you can kind of make it a little more mandatory. But at a school at Cardinal Spellman, it's tough. It's tough because the classes are small. You have a lot of the kids playing multiple sports, so it's tough to, you know, if you got basketball players that are playing baseball, it's tough for them to be working out, you know, lifting and everything, and doing their schoolwork and practices for basketball and games and stuff like that. So it's tough.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you have so many players that are playing multiple sports up there. And back to back, so it's hard, you know. So a lot of the training has to come in during the summer, but then, you know, they have to be able to find some time to be able to work out for, you know, for all the sports. You know what I mean? You know, and I encourage everybody playing multiple sports. One, it helps out with your muscles. You know, you're not just working on the same muscles all the time. And then each sport, I feel, helps out with the other sport. You know what I mean? One sport, you know, maybe more mental. The other sport may be more physical, which helps out with every individual sport. So, you know, but again, it's tough just to concentrate and get a real good workout regime just for one sport at a small school like that.
Yeah,
Kind of
true. I mean, you're so limited, and like you said,
Mm-hmm.
like Johnny P, he plays two sports.
Right.
Sophomore coming back, pitcher / outfield, infield, right? I think he was an infielder.
Yes.
And he's playing football, and now
Right.
he's going to be. He's probably gonna. I don't know. I heard he might be trying out for football, and I mean basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think the basketball side kind of helps with the endurance of
Oh, it
keeping
does.
your wind up and running, running the court and stuff like that.
Coach Perry keeps you in shape, so
Right.
you don't have to worry about that aspect.
All right, old man, what do you have?
Did you play baseball in college or high school?
I played up until my sophomore year at Cardinal Spellman. I had a shoulder injury that I had to pick between. I was playing 3 sports at the time, so I had to pick to drop one of them. The doctors told me. So it was on my throwing arm and stuff like that. So I dropped baseball after my sophomore year. So I didn't go on and play college baseball and anything like that. But then I got into more coaching and stuff like that. So I coached up at Cardinal Spellman. I coached up at the high school level up there before, and then I took some time off when I had a family, and then I got back into coaching Legion baseball and everything with the high school kids and all that stuff for there. So
There you go. Very cool.
What position did you play? in
I
baseball?
was a first baseman. I did some pitching and played some outfield.
And that was high school?
That was high school, yes. And I played all growing up, when I lived in Abington and stuff like that, growing up. And all
Now,
that.
did you play college?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
Now, how we have about 4 minutes. I'm not even going to hold the spot. I want to make sure it goes another commercial. So, as far as AAU and high school clashing, does that clash a lot with?
Not really. More like when they're freshmen.
Yep.
Because that age, the freshman age, through AAU, you can play during the season. It really starts more being affected like when they're sophomores and up, because the AAU season starts afterwards. So there's really no effect on the high school baseball with the AAU at that time.
And the
during
good thing
season.
about Legion that it's over. High school's over.
Yes.
It's more summer ball.
Yes, Legion is summer ball. You can't start until after the high school season's over, until your high school season's over. So if you make the tournament and your kids are playing and you don't have, a certain percentage, so you can't play, but then you make it up, and then you can't stop playing until your team is ready to play.
That's cool. That's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Because you really don't hear that much more about Legion as much as you do AAU. Back in the day,
Right.
Legion used to be
Yes.
the way to go, and now AAU and not the program that Tyler's in now, but like all the other ones, they promise you the world. Oh, this scout's coming. This, this is coming. And sometimes it's a fluke. I mean, we've interviewed people where kids got full ride, but only because their assistant coach was a Division I, but she knew
Yes.
this girl, so she knew it was, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think the last one, hypothetically, was Bristol Plymouth. The girl she was a pitcher, and Bristol Plymouth, it's a Czech school, VOTAC, so the Division VI or Division VII. Her coach was at UNH, and she got a ride over to UNH playing softball.
Right.
And that's so hard to do. I don't know how they sometimes. I guess my thing that upsets me is how can you promise that all these? Well, I guess they could, but how do you know they're there?
Yeah, you just got to go with it. Because I've been involved in it. I had my own club for a little bit. I coached for Giants Futures under Glenn Tufts.
Yeah.
And you go to these tournaments, and it's just by chance. Like you said, they'll say they're going to be there,
Right.
and then you go, and most of the larger tournaments you go to, the showcases and stuff, they are there. But a lot of times they're there just to look at one particular kid.
Yeah.
And then you have to do something to catch their eye. And a lot of it is, too, I mean, I've just gone through it the last 4 or 5 years with my own children, is you have to reach out to them to have them come see you a lot of times now. The college coaches they're going all over the place and everything, stuff like that. So you have to reach out to them and show interest in them a lot of times. And then, they'll look at film to you. You send film to them and everything. And then they'll come out and look at you and stuff like that. But a lot of it is on you. It's not like when we were there back
Right.
when we were playing, and, they'd read about you and stuff like that. And then
Right in
they'd
the
come
paper, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of legwork for yourself now, too.
All right, if you want to call in when we get back, 508-222-1320. We got about a minute and a half, and I don't know if we can get this in a minute and a half, but I was curious, how do you reach out to these colleges? I mean, do you just hit the athletic director? You try to find a link for the coach?
Yeah, if you go to their athletic website, it'll say a lot of them have questionnaires, recruit me and stuff like that. You can go and you can fill out that questionnaire and everything, and then send it to the coach's email, and the coach usually gets back to you pretty good time, and then they have a place on it, some of them that you can send video and stuff like that.
Nice.
And everything. Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
God knows I looked at the wrong page then. Yeah, if you want to call back, 508-222-1320. There might be a problem watching us live. You'll have to go to the WARA Facebook page. I think they switched it from the YouTube page. So our link right now is off the old YouTube page. I don't know if it might go both ways, maybe, but they want to see you, Coach. I'm getting all these text messages. They want to see how you look in studio. I swear to God, it's on my phone.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 4 Deep Sports Talk. We are continuing highlighting new Cardinals Spellman baseball coach Bob Kelly.
All right, well, we touched about a lot of things. I wanted to run down. I don't know if Luce has something right now, or I know Justin ran through his questions. I want to talk about your team that you have come back. You're losing 4 seniors.
Yes, we lost 4 seniors from last year's team.
You don't have a really well, I don't know if I should say this because, well, you know what, maybe they'll call me with a hate email, but an established first baseman. right? You lost a legit first baseman.
Yes, we lost Ben Cepek, who's
Yeah.
playing at Bridgewater State right now.
Right.
We lost him, but we have a senior who transferred in to the school who played at Bishop Fien, Alex, and he's a pitcher and a first baseman, so that should help out when he's not pitching at first.
So you got a pitcher out of that and a first baseman.
Yes.
Now let's go around the horn. Let's go around your infield off the top of your head.
Yep.
And if we miss someone, we're apologizing in advance. But let's go over to second.
Yep.
And let's work on who do you see playing second base?
I see a bunch of kids that can play there. We have Jason Cunningham, who is also a pitcher too. We have Ben Catton, senior captain, who can play there and play the outfield. So probably between those two for right now. And then we have another transfer, Wes from Bishop Fien, who came in, Wesley.
So that's two Fian kids.
Two Fien kids, yes,
Okay.
transferred in. And then they can play. He can play. He's also a middle infielder and an outfielder too. So
Nice.
we have a couple of kids that came in. That gives us 4 seniors for this year. Senior leadership. That'll be good for the younger kids.
Now what about shortstop?
Shortstop, we have Lucas Soares that can play there.
Yeah.
Jason Cunningham again, he can play there. When he's not pitching, depending where it is. Johnny Petruzzi, he can play. He kind of is like my Jason. He can kind of play wherever. He can play there too. We're looking possibly to move him to playing some catcher. Because we lost
he
Stephen
can catch
Nardelli.
too. Yeah, that's right.
We lost Stephen Nardelli, who is playing at Suffolk now. So that's the infield, and if one of them is not playing, short or second, one of the other ones can play third. I know Lucas played some third last year, so he can get some time in there. So
are we hurting for a backup catcher right now? As of right now, on the top of your head.
as of right now, yes.
You said you got Johnny P.
Yep.
He's most likely going to be a starter.
Yeah.
Right. If he's not in the infield or pitching.
Yes.
Right. So who do you think off the top of your, if you're not like, again, you're going to get the hate emails, not me.
I'm not sure yet. I haven't been able to see all
Right.
of them.
I'm just going off the top of your
Yeah, I'm
head.
just going off of what I've seen.
Yes.
I've heard we've got about 10 to 12 freshmen that are coming in this year.
Ooh, you never
that
know.
are baseball players. So you don't know. You don't know. You might find a diamond in the rough there that can come up and help out.
That would be cool.
I know in the outfield we should be pretty good.
Nice.
When Ty's not pitching, he plays the outfield, and then you got Captain Michael Boudier, who he played center field the last 2 years, he'll be patrolling center field and do some pitching for us, and then like I said, if Ben's not at second base or in the infield somewhere, he's also another outfielder, which he played there last year too. So
And any other outfielders that we're leaving out? We don't want to tick them off at all.
I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
We're working our way around a dime.
Right.
Let's talk about your pitching staff.
Okay, that's they're young, but as you know, they got a lot of experience last year.
Yeah, they
pitching as freshmen.
Yeah.
Which you can't substitute that. Good or bad. They learn what to do and what not to do on the mound there last year, and so I'm pretty excited about that with them coming back with our pitching.
So you should be maybe, 7 deep, maybe. Off the top of my head.
I would say, yeah. I mean, you got Jason, you got Ty, Johnny when he's not catching, and if we can find a day and find someone else that can catch, that we
Right.
can, you don't want to pitch him too much because he's
Lot of games.
he's throwing just as much as the pitcher is back to the mound. So you don't do
Yeah.
a lot of wear and tear on his arm there. But he came in relief a lot last year and did a great job for us. So that's something that you don't really want to lose. But you got to be strong behind the plate too. So.
And then you mentioned the 2 Fian kids that might be able to throw the ball too.
I know definitely Alex can.
Yep.
And he can come in and he's a big kid. He's about Ben's size.
Oh, he's a big kid.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And then
Yeah,
you got, like
so-
you said, you got a freshman.
And then we got freshmen. We got a bunch of freshmen that hopefully can come in and help out somewhere along the way. And then Michael Boudier, he pitches. A lefty, he does a good job.
So that
You know,
gives you
so-
2 lefties, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's not bad to have a lefty,
No. You know.
especially if you can hide the ball well and get it over the plate.
Exactly. You know, pitch to contact. You
Yep.
know. And then, yeah. So hopefully we can find some more. You
Right.
know, guys. You know, the big thing is we're hoping this year is to be able to have a JV team. You know, with that amount of freshmen that are interested in playing baseball and what we've had and stuff like that in the past. Hopefully we can get a JV team this year again.
Yeah,
That'll be the main thing. You
That
know,
would
if
be
we-
nice.
You know, because nothing substitutes than playing and getting innings in. You know, to get better.
Yeah, because some of the freshmen had to go down to fill in the roster
Yes.
for the JV.
Yeah, for a
and-
couple of games there and stuff like that, and that's hard too.
Right.
You know.
How does that affect? I was just curious, and I think maybe I'm thinking of a different sport. Doesn't it affect their varsity playing time if they go JV to varsity or varsity to JV? Or
I'm not. No.
I'm
how
not
it
sure, I
works
just-
in
yeah.
baseball. I don't know if there's so many innings that you can play a week or something like that. But I know it used to be in basketball. You had so many quarters that you could play in a week because there was some kids that
Right.
could go. You know, you'd play 1 quarter in the JV and then you'd go up and play 3 quarters for the varsity.
I
or
remember
something
that.
like that in a day or something like that. So I'm not sure if it's like in a day. You know what I mean? Like with
Yeah.
like those sports, like with basketball and stuff like that. So.
yeah, I was curious. Maybe that's what I was.
Because I
thinking
know
about
football,
basketball.
it's usually if you play like one way on one sport, you might possibly be able to go down and play the opposite. You know, if you play offense on one, you can go
Right.
play defense on the other and stuff like that.
I
But I'm not sure
apologize.
if that's still like
Me
that.
too. I didn't know if you knew. That's why I asked you that silly question. I don't know if it was the same thing in baseball. Because sometimes, Jay, if you're playing varsity, you can't only like you were just talking about basketball. You only can play so many plays or so many quarters in JV or so many quarters in JV, so they can put you on the roster for varsity.
For that varsity game.
And I've
right.
actually seen that during the Brockton High games, where the
Mhm.
kids would play 1 quarter, and there's like 8 zillion kids at Brockton High, so their roster is unbelievable. And a lot of good athletes, but they'll have this one kid. He'll play that quarter, and you won't see him till the 2 quarters in the varsity game,
Right.
just eating minutes. Yeah, I was curious. I was just curious about that. And everyone's like, "Why is he asking that question?" Why don't you call in and let us know what you think at 508-222-1320. Again, we got Bob Kelly, the new head coach over at Cardinals Spelman Boys Baseball. So who's been reaching out to you? I guess we broke that. We got a call here. Make sure I hit the blow up button in case I ask something silly. No, I'm only kidding. You're first on 4D Sports Talk as we have a new head coach, Bob Kelly. Do you have a question?
Yes. Good to see you back on the radio, Dominic.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Coach Kelly if he's noticed any developmental changes with the players as far as like the home run hitters you see on the major leagues, and if they're trying to develop more speed or more fielding abilities.
Well, yeah, on the major leagues, I've definitely seen it. The fielding abilities is just 100 times better than it was before. They just have so much training that they can do now and work with. And those guys, they take maybe a month or 2 off, maybe, and then they're just back at it the whole time up in the major leagues.
Okay. Lou, do you have another question?
No, that was it. I was just curious because I remember when we were in high school, our coach over here in Somerset, Jim Sullivan, he used to stress, infield, and outfield, the defensive play, and really hooked up because they always had a really good, strong program.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, I feel you have to be strong. Just to be able to help out your pitchers a lot. Give them a little bit more confidence. That you got 7 guys behind you that you got 7 guys behind you that are going to help you out.
Right.
And it makes their life a lot easier. Like I was talking to Dom in the break about pitching. Pitch to contact. And let the guys behind you make the plays for you. So we will stress a lot of defense this year up at Spelman.
All right, thanks for taking my call.
You got it, Lou. Thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was our favorite caller of all time, Lou Cabral. That's Lucy's husband. Great guy. And he always comes up with that question that everybody else missed. Like
Yeah.
that question. Does it all the time.
Yep.
And it helps out the show, and he's a big fan. And I think he'd be a fan even if Lucy wasn't on the show.
True. Very true.
But Lou, thank you for calling in. If you want to call in, anybody from Spelman, 508-222-1320. I think the problem we have with a sports show, and I say this kind of off the air a little bit, is that we always have the professional, not an angle, but they think we're going to say, oh, that's a stupid question, blow them up, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the only reason I press the drop call, unless you swear, you know what I mean? You say something disrespectful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think everybody's input's pretty good, especially, I mean, we love to do this when we have a new head coach, no matter what the sport is, to get his perspective. I think the last time was Attleboro. We had the Attleboro head coach on coming from Silver Lake, and, he was getting ready, and, like you, he was focused. He knew what he wanted to do, and right now Attleboro's only going through a youth problem. They're a young team. So everyone's, that's, how that goes. Everyone beats up on the young teams and stuff like that. And the good thing is that North Attleboro and Attleboro, they're both out of the playoffs, so they'll go right at it, because I hate that with the football. When you sit the starters down because you go into the playoffs and Super Bowl, I hate that. But so we talked about, went around the diamond, talked about your roster. Do you guys have anything to add? Do you guys have anything on top of your head? No?
Nope, not yet.
All right, very good. So I'll just keep on giving this guy the inquisition, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sorry I had to step out there. I was having a coughing fit. It usually comes up every now and then. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 4 Deep Sports Talk. This is Lucy Cabral here. I'm in studio with the new Cardinal Spellman head coach, baseball coach, Bobby Kelly. And we have Dominic Damiano sporting his back pain on the boards right now. Our sports master, Justin Ferreira. And we miss you, Casey, but I know you're over at Gillette having a ball. Dom, you want to take it in with high school sports?
Okay, so here we go. Here is the rundown. And this shouldn't take too long. This is Division One. I mean, the high school football format as far as the Final Four. Let me see what's playing. Da-da-da. There it is. I love this music. All right, Division One. It was St. John's Prep over Andover, 35-7. They move on to Gillette, and so does the Savarian brothers. They beat Needham in a close one, 20-17. In Division Two, King Philip, the number 1 seed, they beat Barnstable 41-21. And today, at 1 o'clock, over at Bridgewater, and I'm actually going to this game, number 2 Catholic Memorial, they will play the Rams of Marshfield. The winner of that moves on to Gillette Stadium for Division Two to play King Philip. Division Three, Milford gets upset. The number 1 seed, they lose to the Walpole Rebels 45-35. The Rebels are going on to Foxborough. Another game today, they'll kick off the ball at 2 o'clock. Of course, staying with Division 3 at Shrewsbury High School. Westwood will take on Milton. Division 4, number 1 Duxbury. They play at 1 o'clock over at Savarian Brothers. They'll take on Tewksbury. And Scituate punched their ticket with a 20-10 win over Grafton. Scituate's waiting for the winner of number 1 Duxbury and number 4 Tewksbury. Division 5, Foxborough. They don't have far to travel. They are going to Gillette Stadium after a 42-12 victory over Shawshing Valley Tech.
Wow.
Yep, they're probably at the game right now because they kicked off, and I'm referring to the Hanover-Danvers game in Weston. They kicked off at 11 a.m. The winner will play Foxborough at Gillette for Division 5 Super Bowl. Moving on to Division 6, Fairhaven. They're going to play today at 5:30 in Mansfield. Fairhaven is a number 8 seed. An 8 seed. They've knocked off both divisions, number 2 and number 3 ranked, but they're taking on Hudson today, 5:30 over at Mansfield, Division 6. This is for Division 6. Salem punched their ticket to Foxborough with a 38-14 win over Stoneham. So again, Salem is waiting for the winner of Fairhaven and Hudson. Again, they're kicking off at 5:30 in Mansfield, Division 7. Uxbridge, this game is already underway. They're playing Clinton in Shrewsbury. And again, already underway. The winner of that will play Amesbury. Amesbury, the number 6 seed, they upset Cohasset 48-28. And Amesbury is waiting for that winner. Again, Uxbridge and Clinton for Division 7 Super Bowl. Carver, one of the smallest towns out of the South Shore League. They blanked Hossick, the number 3 seed, 44-0 to move on to Gillette. And the winner of that will play, Carver's waiting for West Boylston in Cathedral. They're kicking off tonight at 6:30 in Leominster. So Carver waits for the winner of West Boylston and Cathedral. And again, 6:30 tonight. And that is your lineup for the Super Bowls. I hope everyone understood what I was saying. But should
John,
be good.
you do such a great job of that.
I try to make it make sense.
It seemed clear to me.
Yeah, that's usually the sportsmaster's thing, Coach. He usually bails me out and tells everybody the scores and who's doing what. All right, so if you want to call in 508-222 as we wrap up this final quarter, this final part of the show. Again, we have Bob Kelly, the 4th skipper, the 4th head coach in Cardinal Spellman boys baseball history. We talked about the sophomores coming up. What'd you say, 10 freshmen off the top of your head, you thought? Did I say
they're
that right?
interested in coming out and playing. Yeah,
Yep.
10 to 12 as of I know of right now.
And then you just don't know the kids that are in the school that played ball that were
Exactly.
kind of nervous because they might not have liked, and well, you know this better than anybody being a coach and a player, is that sometimes it comes down to, well, I didn't like that coach.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like that coach.
I
He
hear
was
that a lot.
Oh, my God,
I do,
it's
I hear that
terrible.
a lot.
You know, it's like, I didn't like this coach because of this, and instead of trying to confront the coach, because everybody, and we talked about, unfortunately, what happened with the football coach, and that was all already in the Brockton Enterprise. Everyone had a good idea what happened there. You know, people got to realize that, you know, you go out because you love the game and you want to help the team out and you love the whole perspective of whatever sport you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Your kid ain't making it to the NBA, the NHL, the MLB. I mean, there's a shot, maybe more college, but if you're going to sit there and put it on the coach and your kid's not performing, as a coach, and I can't speak for you, Coach, but as a past coach, you don't want that kid to get hurt or embarrassed, especially hurt.
Right.
You know, if he does not play the game. But, of course, mom and dad think he's not to play the game. That's probably the worst part of your job,
Yeah.
you know.
And as in any sport, you know, you really want to have fun.
Yeah,
That's the name of
exactly.
the game.
Yeah, and then you got to play the game, how to be able to play the game, know the situation, especially in baseball.
Sure.
Because there could be times where you're thinking something else and you know the situation, and for whatever reason you forgot to remind them.
Yep.
They should know. Oh, it's first and second. The ball's at the third baseman. I should be able to tag third base.
Yep.
Silly stuff like that. How many times have you seen that?
A lot, but we just got to remember they're still high school kids.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
got so much going on in their head.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, just through the school day and just being a teenager and everything. It's just that's part of coaching. You know what I
Right.
mean? You gotta constantly remind them, you know, on what you need done and what needs to be done. You
Yep.
know,
It's a
That's-
team sport.
Yeah, that's our job. You know, just to remind them and help them and make them better. You know, and keep them on their toes.
So how did you get elected to be head coach over there?
I just went through the hiring process.
Yep.
It was posted and everything, and I put into it. I put in for it and went through an interview process, and then I think there was, I don't know how many other people were interviewed for it, but you know, they waited, and then the athletic department and the school you know, made a decision, and here I am.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Congratulations.
How
Yeah.
long was the interview?
I interviewed probably for about, you know, an hour or so, a little over an hour. You
So
know?
it wasn't a dark light with a light over your head?
No, no.
And so your assistant coaches will those
We haven't got
guys
yet
stay
the-
the same? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great
How does that
question.
work?
Yeah, no, my assistant coaches are going to stay the same. You know, Dan Bradley, he's a teacher in the school,
Okay.
and he's a young kid. He played at Assumption College. He's great with the kids, you know. So him and Greg Davis, who's an umpire. Everybody knows him as Chili, Chili Davis. He's the JV coach slash assistant coach up with me on the varsity. And I thought it was important to keep them around, not just because, they know the kids from last year and in the last couple of years, but they're also great baseball people and great people, that the kids should be surrounded by. Chili also played at Assumption College, so I guess a couple of Greyhounds on the
That's always good to have.
yes, and Chili's good. Chili's an umpire, so he knows all of them. So hopefully we get some
that's
calls.
great.
We get some calls here and there.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I know. It could work against us, maybe.
Do you know what subject Dan teaches?
I think he's a history teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good that you have guys in the school so they can start. Well, before you get out of whatever the deal is with your work, where
Yeah.
they set everything up, and then you just walk into practice and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's very important to at least have one coach, I feel, if not the head coach, you have a coach on your staff that's in the school because, me not being in the school, it's tough to keep, eyes and ears on
Sure.
on the kids. You know what I mean? Again,
Right.
like we said, they're high school kids, so, you still got to keep a little thumb on them here and there. And it's good having Danny in the school, and it's a big help. He can keep an eye on them and, make sure they're not in trouble, which I don't expect any of them to be, but you never know here and there, keep it on their grades, make sure they're doing well,
Right.
because it's family school and then athletics, that's how we go by.
Right. And they should go by that.
Right.
Anything, it's got to be grades first.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes some kids don't
Yeah.
pay attention to that. Like, not to get too far off the beat and subject, but Jermaine Wiggins, new coach of Brockton High, I heard through a grapevine that he has some of his stars not keeping up, so they ain't playing. I love to hear that.
No,
That was
you have
awesome.
to. You have to. That's the part of it. Like you said, I mean, I think across the country there's 7% of high school kids that go on and play on the collegiate level.
Yeah.
So you have to do well in school, not just to get to the collegiate level, but just to go on
Grade-wise,
to go on in life.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Just to go on and to be good people and know what to do and to work hard.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Try to mold them into good citizens that love the game that they love to
Yeah.
play, and
Yep.
and have a good GPA to grab a college scholarship. Hopefully,
Yeah.
There's so many colleges out there. I don't think people even realize.
Yes.
But like you said, you got to get out there and send them a tape, get in contact with them. Hopefully, you know what I mean. Hopefully, they're happy with your GPA, and
Yeah,
you
and that's the main thing. I mean, if you're the same player as somebody else that they're recruiting or looking into it, and the next thing they go to is the grades. You
Yep.
know what I mean? And if you have better grades than that person, 9 out of 10 times they're going to take you. Because they don't have to worry about that. Because grades is something they still have to worry about on the collegiate level too.
Right. So my next silly question is: in football, what we used to do at BP is we'd have a spaghetti night before. Oh, I loved it. You kidding me? I was always there first.
Yeah.
And the parents and the parents would get out there, make a nice spread. Are you looking to do something like that? I mean, that idea where you can get some camaraderie with the kids, because sometimes you can be talented. It just takes that one, they're
Right.
not gelling because of the camaraderie.
Baseball, it's tough because you got 2 or 3 games sometimes during the week.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
crazy.
We can talk to the kids, stuff like that. If that's something possibly, on a before a big game,
Right.
you know what I mean, or even before the start of the season, maybe get together and do something. I know we usually do something pretty big on senior day, but that's usually late in the game. But by that time the kids are usually together, and it's tough at a school like Cardinal Spellman and all the Catholic private schools, because it's not like in Abington or in East Bridgewater and stuff like that, where they're all growing up together,
Right.
and continuing and
Right.
playing. When you get a lot of these kids, the first time they're meeting each other is freshman year. So
No, that's true.
a lot of the time is to get it then. You know what I
Right.
mean, when they're younger, to build up camaraderie and
so
everything.
true,
and
so
teamwork,
true. So I also work out of Fall River for Fall River Community Media, and Bishop Conley,
Yes.
right next door, across the street, is Durfee High School. And so we lost Bishop Conley last
Yes.
year, and a lot of the kids went to Bishop Stang. So, Yeah, a lot of them were seniors too, and
Yeah.
were going on.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's like starting over for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see,
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, we
in
had that
terms of
situation a
starting
couple of
them
years
early.
ago when Coyle shut down,
Right,
and
right.
Sacred Heart in Kingston shut down.
Yep.
We were fortunate enough to get some kids, from there. But yeah, it's tough, especially coming into a school, your
is.
senior year,
Yeah.
going into a new school atmosphere. Fortunately for a lot of those kids, they had friends that were making the change with them. They were doing it, so they just weren't doing it by themselves. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it made that
Right.
transition, pretty good.
Right.
Now, are you doing the schedule, or does the athletic director take care of that?
We're both working together.
Okay.
With that, right now we have 14 games scheduled out of
Okay.
18. Which is good.
Who's the AD over there?
Mike Garish.
Mike
He
Garish,
is the athletic director, and then we have an assistant athletic director Danielle Jacobs. So I've been working with the two of them,
Right.
on the schedule, and it's coming along good.
Believe it or not, I have the first 4 games off Arbiter Sports, not as an umpire, but as a fan. And as of right now, this is the first 4 games for the Cardinals coming up in 2024. All the games will start at 3:30. They are home. They will take on the Spartans of Bishop Stang.
Wow.
That is April. That's going to be April 3rd. Then Archbishop Williams comes in. Oh, these are all conference games
Yeah, those
right
are all
away.
the league games. The 6 league games should probably be on there. Right
Yeah,
now.
they only get 4 so far. Then then you go all the way down to 24th. Like I mentioned before, Archie's. Then they go to Fian on May 1st, and then they come back as Fenwick comes in, and that's the 5th of May. So those are the 4 games as of right now.
I know right now. Mike just told me that we open up at home on April 1st against Winthrop.
Okay.
They'll be coming to us to open it up, and then we'll go to Stang.
Yeah.
But we also have 2 games with Abington, 2 with Abington, and then we have 2 with Southeastern scheduled right now.
Right.
And then we only have to play everybody in our league once.
Oh, okay.
But you can play somebody else twice. So we'll also be playing Archbishop Williams and Arlington Catholic twice in our league. So right now that gives us a total of 14 games.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
your schedule? 20?
In the spring, it's 18 to 20.
18 to 20, yeah.
I think we're going to go with 18 this year, just because you know how the spring is with rainouts and everything, and then
yeah.
cram
God,
and
yeah.
everything towards the end of the season, trying to get them all in, which I think that helped. That happened last year with the Diamond Vogue. We
Right.
didn't end up playing that last game of the last weekend because it didn't work out between the 2 schools and
Yep.
everything, stuff like that at the end. So,
I remember Diamond Vogue. I was freezing.
oh, that was cold that day.
No,
down there.
really?
Yeah, they were
Oh, it
playing.
was freezing.
Oh, what was the name of that? It was. It's in the boonies somewhere, and
Yeah, it's
Seekonk.
behind the Y.
behind the
in-
Y. And
yeah.
was that Seekonk?
Seekonk or Swansea? I forget
Yeah,
where it is.
something
I
like
think it's
that.
Swansea Y.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
you guys played over there?
Yeah,
Oh
they
my
played over there. yeah.
goodness.
It was for a reason.
Because they're building a new diamond.
Oh, New Diamond High School?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with BP, too. A couple
Yeah.
of these Votex schools are getting redone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
It's crazy. We have about 2 minutes left. If you want to call in real fast, 508-222-1320. Next week, we're going to be off, so we're going to replay this interview on Thanksgiving Day, this Thanksgiving Day weekend, as she's smiling. And followed up, we get one interview set up for not to get off the beaten track talking to Coach Kelly, but just to let everyone know, 3rd week of December, we're going to have the Marshfield general manager. We'll talk Marshfield Hurricanes football. They've had a big accomplishment playing that semi-pro league. We'll talk to them. And we're just trying to get some more interviews in if we can.
Sounds good.
You know,
Love
so-
to get some kids in here, so we'll
Right.
have to invite you back and,
Oh, that'd
and
be
get
great.
your outgoing seniors.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be great.
We'll wait till they win the state title. No
Yeah,
more.
you know.
Baby
no
steps.
pressure. No pressure, Coach.
And then can come with the trophy and show
There
it
you
off.
go.
Right?
Yeah,
there you
baby
go.
steps. Hopefully, first goal is to make the
Never
tournament.
know.
Yeah,
Win
but-
enough
Never
games to make the
know.
tournament and have big enough power ranking to qualify for the tournament, and then we'll go from there.
Right. I'm not a power ranking fan. I'm not
No.
a power ranking fan at all. I think they just, I don't know. I mean, she gets, every time we talk to our playoff show, I get so upset she has to start talking because I don't like the way they do it. I don't think it's fair. I just,
Yeah,
and they have, someone complains to somebody and they get this, I don't know.
it's tough.
It really is. It gets
Yeah.
me upset. It
Yeah,
really
it's
does.
tough.
I always use the Dartmouth reference when they were in Division 1 to BR in Brockton, and they go down to Division 3 to play hockey.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you got to be out of your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, with that being said, as we continue on, about to step out here, Coach, we want to, all of us here at 4 Deep Sports Talk and the station WARA. Want to wish you the best in your new position
Thank
over
you.
at Cardinal Spellman.
And
Yeah,
thank you for
sounds
having
like
me.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we plan on. We plan on having fun. you know?
Good, good. And we want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving.
Good job.
I'm sure everyone is grateful for something or
We're gonna
other.
go right now, right? And 2, 3, 1.
Oh, are we out?
We're out.
Okay, there it is.